Good afternoon, everyone. This is Dr. Jana Price Sharps. And so today I'm going to talk a little bit about anxiety because it seems like everybody is having a dose of that right now, and we have a lot going on in our world and our country right now. And so what do you do with anxiety, and where is it coming from? Well, part of it is coming from what's coming into our minds. And so kind of everywhere you look right now, there's a lot of negativity. So that begins to amp people up. I call it running hot, meaning that it's kind of like putting airplane fuel into a Volkswagen Bug, where it may run really fast for a few miles and then it burns up. And so that's kind of what we're seeing. We're seeing increased problems in relationships and, thoughts of wanting to die and some real negativity, hatred, anger. So what that does is that kind of environment increases adrenaline and cortisol. And so when you increase adrenaline and cortisol, you start running hot. And when you run hot, you start looking around for the problem, and then whatever is in front of you becomes the problem. And it could be your spouse, it could be your child, it could be your best friend, it could be your coworker. So lots of really angry, anxious, irritable responses. You see it on social media quite a bit. You see it on the news. You see it kind of everywhere. So when you're surrounded with that kind of negativity, we really do begin to absorb that. And that's not particularly a good thing to be absorbing. So here's a couple steps that you can take that will help you reduce the anxiety. The first thing is you get to choose your focus. You can either choose your focus on all the chaos going on out here, or you can bring the focus back in here. And what do I mean by that? Well, if somebody's having a bad day, you can either take their negative energy in, or you can, in your mind, go, okay, well, that person's having a bad day, but I'm not. And I'm going to choose not to have a bad day. And I'm going to choose to focus on what I have in my life, what blessings I have, what am I grateful for, who are the people in my life that I'm grateful for. And that's really important, because otherwise we can get distracted and by all the squirrels kind of running around, but those squirrels aren't necessarily healthy, happy squirrels. So deciding, what, I could put a lot of energy over there, but number one, I'm not in control of that. And number two, it's just going to pull all that negative energy in. So I'm going to be very mindful today of what I take in, what I focus on. And literally sometimes taking your brain and going, no, we're going to go over here and we're going to focus on something else. And that's really important. But then you got to have something positive to focus on. So really choosing, what is that going to be? I am sitting in my office at home, and you notice I have pretty stuff everywhere. And in my office at work, I have pretty stuff everywhere. And part of that is I like pretty stuff. I like to look at things. And those people who know me know that I'm pretty hyperactive. But the other thing is, it gives people mental breaks. And so when they're talking about something that may be difficult, they kind of scan the room and they see something that's pretty, and it gives the brain just a little bit of rest. So mind your focus, but also find something positive to focus on. And if that's tough right now, then you have to kind of look around for that. And it may take some looking. But, YouTube is awful and great at the same time. There's some really kind of toxic stuff on YouTube, but there's also some really good stuff. And so maybe looking up those comedians, looking up those nature specials, looking up, I don't know, how to plant a new kind of bulb. I don't care. But, focusing your mind and your energy on things that you have some control over or all control over, but also giving yourself those mental breaks. So minding your focus, deciding what you're going to focus on, and then taking the time to actually focus on that. Bring in some positive energy wherever that can come from, whether it's motivational podcasts. Many of you know I love Brendan Bouchard. I listen to a lot of Brendan Bouchard. I listen to YouTube videos of Zig Ziglar. I have a lot of his CDs, which I know I'm probably the last one in the world that has CDs, but I make sure I'm on a steady diet of that, because I need to be feeding my brain positive. I need to be bringing in the clear water, the powerful and the positive energy. A lot of people like Joel Osteen. I like Norman Vincent Peale, so I read a lot of his stuff. I put myself on a steady diet of that. And I'm a busy person. I run fast, but I always try and make time for that positive feeding of my brain. A lot of people are good about working out, and that's a really important part of mental health. But part of mental health is also feeding your brain the good stuff, the stuff that is going to help stimulate your mind and also help you feel better. So, and the last thing is making sure that your self-talk is positive, not negative. So we can be our own worst enemies sometimes when we go, oh my God, everything's terrible. There's no hope in the world. There's never going to be anything that goes right in the world ever again, kind of thing. And we're certainly hearing a lot of that on, a variety of different areas in our lives right now. But that is not going to be helpful. Choose to focus on things that you can control. Choose to focus on things that are good and that are powerful, positive, and are going to reinforce those good feelings. And that will help that self-talk. So if you get stuck, look up positive quotes, put them on 3x5 cards, spread them throughout your house, put them on sticky notes on mirrors, anything to keep the positive in front of you. It really does make a difference, because every time you have anxious thoughts, it's going to release different chemicals in your brain than the powerful and the positive thoughts. So you get to be in control. Choose to control it. Choose your focus. I hope you have a wonderful day. This is Dr. Jana Price Sharps. Thank you so much for joining me. Have a wonderful week. Bye-bye.